Yo, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're talking about Summerlin West urban myth, the one-day urban core. We're not going to speculate ourselves, though. We're going to use ChatGPT, have a little fun with this, and see what it thinks will actually be included when it comes to the urban core. At the end of this video, if you're down with it, please shoot it a like, and if you want more Vegas and Summerlin content, please subscribe to the channel. All right, heading over to ChatGPT. Now, I wrote down a few questions here. I'm going to use them as prompts. So let's say, what is Summerlin West urban core? See what it comes up with here. All right, so let's read this through here. So Summerlin West urban core is a planned high-density mixed-use district within the broader Summerlin master plan community in Las Vegas, Nevada. It is being designed as the centerpiece of Summerlin West, the westernmost and final major phase of the overall development, which spans the western foothills of the Las Vegas Valley near Red Rock Canyon. All right, so here are the key features ChatGPT is saying will be in Summerlin West urban core. Location, situated west of the 215 Beltway and north of Far Hills Avenue. Located in the upper western portion of Summerlin, near Red Rock National Conservation Area, part of the Grand Park District and surrounding villages like Kestrel and Red Point. Purpose, serve as a future downtown-style commercial and cultural hub for the western part of Summerlin, intended to complement the existing downtown Summerlin, not replace it, offering additional housing, business, and recreational options for residents on the west side. All right, here's the design and vision. Higher density than surrounding residential villages. We can see that already with the types of housing they're building. Emphasis on walkability, public spaces, and urban amenities like apartments and condos, boutique retail, restaurants and cafes, professional offices, parks and plazas. Likely to feature transit-friendly design and integrated trails to encourage non-vehicular movement. All right, development status. As of 2025, the urban core is still in planning and early development stages. Howard Hughes Corporation, the developer, is laying groundwork in surrounding neighborhoods like Kestrel Commons and Red Point Square that will support and feed into the future core. No final site plan or construction timeline has been made, but it is expected to unfold over the next decade as Summerlin West builds out. All right, so over the next decade, we hear a lot of numbers thrown out, 3 to 5 years, et cetera, et cetera. That 3 to 5 years seems to be a moving goalpost, in my opinion. I've heard that since I moved here 3 years ago. Importance will help complete Summerlin's long-term vision of village-based living with self-contained amenities. Provides alternative urban living options in contrast to Las Vegas's historically suburban layout. I agree with that. Let's hope that that actually comes true. All right. Let's see what do local residents of Summerlin West want to see in the urban core? Great question, apparently. It says, while there hasn't been a widely publicized formal survey specifically about Summerlin West's future urban core, local sentiment can be pieced together from community meetings, social media discussions, local news comment sections, feedback from planning workshops in the Las Vegas Valley. Okay, but down here it says, what residents want to see? Locally owned and unique restaurants. I've seen that in my comments, actually, about other urban core videos. Green spaces and gathering areas. I think that's clearly going on already with the ton of parks, Grand Parks on its way. You obviously have the surrounding parks in both Kestrel, Red Point Square, and soon to be Grand Park. Walkability and pedestrian priority. I think this is pretty clear that this is what they're trying to accomplish just based on the actual information that we have been given. Cultural and creative amenities, art center, music venues, or gallery space. Interesting. Quality retail and boutique shops, housing options with character, transit, and accessibility. Here are a few concerns that they've gathered. Overdevelopment, fear of losing the suburban feel and natural scenery. I'm absolutely concerned about the natural scenery aspect. And obviously, if they go too dense or too high, that could impact the view of, say, the mountains for locals, especially down here in the area. Traffic and parking, could see that being a concern as well. Chain stores. Now, I do think that they're probably going to be throwing more chain stores closer to the 215, but the actual urban core part that's in between Red Point Square and Kestrel Commons, I'm hoping that those chain stores are not there and actually thrown closer to the 215. Noise and light pollution. Let's ask them to do a rendering here. So what should it look like? Can you Can you provide a rendering? Now, this might take a minute, you guys, so let's just see here. Getting started. We'll notify you when your image is ready. Probably ask one more question after this. This is quite interesting. I haven't really done one of these videos before. Might have to do a couple ChatGPT videos. I think this one's kind of fun because we all seem to be very intrigued about what will be built in Summerlin West Urban Core, especially with all the speculation that goes on. You know, not a lot of information's out there. People throw out targets, Whole Foods. I was looking at a couple of YouTube videos from like a year, 2, 3 years ago. It's kind of hilarious because basically it's just all rumors at this point. If there's no planned development, it can't really have specific stores that will be in the area yet, I would assume. But anyways, this image is taking forever. It's taking a hot minute. So let's hope it's something good. All right, here we go. It looks like, let's see this. Okay, here we go. I'm digging this. This is actually pretty solid in my opinion. You got some coffee, you got a restaurant, some more shops over here. Looks like some apartments, maybe some condo buildings above. Definitely a nice mixed use space. For the actual urban core part, not the commercial part, that's probably going to be more towards the 215. I'm liking this vibe. Definitely nice and walkable. Got the mountains in the background. Good mix between like urban and suburban. Then you got the natural landscape. So pretty dope in my opinion. Drop a comment below. Is this something that you would vibe with in the future Summerlin West Urban Core, or would you like to see something totally different? Let me know. All right, so the last question I just want to ask it here is, it kind of mentioned it before, was how long is this going to take? So when is it anticipated that the urban core will be finished or started? Let's go started. My guess is not till the 215 and the Summerlin Parkway update is finished. All right, here we go. All right, let's read this through. As of mid-2025, no official construction timeline has been publicly announced for the urban core of Summerlin West. However, we can infer a rough window based on development trends and statements by the Howard Hughes Corporation. Current status and timeline. Infrastructure is being built around it now. Villages like Red Point Square, Kestrel, and Kestrel Commons are actively being developed 2021 through 2025. Yes, this is very true. But what about commercial spaces? These areas are designed to support and lead into the future urban core, setting up roadways, utilities, and early density. The urban core is expected to be the centerpiece of the Grand Park District, a future village cluster west of Kestrel. I'm not really sure that the urban core is going to be a part of the Grand Park District. Could be wrong, but interesting note there. Howard Hughes Corp has described this area in filings as a higher density mixed-use district that could begin within the next development phases. Very general, very general. Likely development window 2026 through 2030. Based on the pace of surrounding village buildouts, it's reasonable to estimate site planning and entitlements 2025 to 2026. Initial vertical construction 2026 to 2027. Core amenities, retail park, plaza 2028 to 2030. Why no official date yet? Howard Hughes Corp is intentionally phasing Summerlin West slowly to maintain demand and pricing. The urban core is a long-term anchor, not a short-term retail play. It will be built when enough nearby residents and infrastructure density support it, likely once Red Point and Kestrel are nearing capacity. Red Point is damn near at capacity, as Vertex and Cordillera are pretty much the only spots in Red Point Square still available for the new construction aspect. Kestrel obviously has a way to go. Grand Park, I understand there needs to be more people probably living in the area to support a full functioning urban core and commercial core. But I think that we're at the point where something could be obviously placed, especially if it's strategic and it's the basics, like a grocery store, would actually be quite readily used by the local residents. I do want to ask, what sources do you have for the timeline? Okay. So here's a couple links, you guys. Obviously, we're not going to find anything on them. I'll drop this in the description, but yeah, we're just going to general websites here. Yeah, we're just going to the normal Summerlin website and whatnot. All right, guys, that's all I got. Something a little different, obviously, totally speculative, no concrete information here. But drop a comment below. When do you think Howard Hughes and the Summerlin West urban core will actually break ground. Do you think it's in 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years? And then also drop a comment below. When do you think it will actually be finished? I know they've said, 20, 30 years more of development here in Summerlin, but give me your thoughts. And before we get going, if you were down with this video, please shoot it a like. And if you want more Summerlin and Vegas content, please subscribe to the channel.